Hello, and welcome back to Honorable Mentions. I'm Emily Barker.
And I'm Gianna Cocovinis.
That's right, we've got a new member. Yay! This is a coup d'etat. We were taking over the podcast. Just kidding, Cam's still here. But today, Gianna and I are going to talk about one of our favorite things, books. And more specifically, we thought it would be fun to review the books we read in honors. So we're going to start off with Honors 102 because that was the first class Gianna and I ever shared together.
Yeah. Good times back then.
Yeah. That was like the semester where things got cut, like, cut in half. Like half the semester
quarantine
was in person and then the other half semester was online.
Yeah. We still read some really good books though.
Yeah, definitely. And it was taught by the amazing Dr. Theory and Dr. Carlson. Love them.
Oh, they were great. Yeah. They were so much fun. They really brought it to life too. All the books we were talking about.
Shout out to both of them.
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking of that class, there are a couple of books that really stand out to me. I especially loved Abelard and Heloise's letters because I don't know, they were like so passionate, and yet like they were written after both of them had become after Abelard had become a priest and Heloise had become a nun. And like, to see Heloise's like hurt at what had happened to them. No spoilers to what had happened to them. And plus also it would probably be too grisly to talk about on
I think
a school podcast.
I think Dr. Carlson said it best. Like when she was covering it in class, she's like, if there was like a Cosmopolitan magazine's article spread, they would be on every single cover because they were just beloved by the public, and they were experts and like dominated their field at the same time. They were they were just dynamite couple.
Yeah, they're totally the torrid celebrity couple we love and still read about endlessly today.
Yeah.
Another one I really loved was The Lays of Marie de France.
I was thinking of that one too.
Yeah, and so we only had to read 2 poems in class, but I ended up liking it so much that I actually asked for the book for Christmas and received it. And I'm still making my way through it slowly but surely. It's not very long, so I don't know why it's taken me so long to finish it.
They're just really beautiful though, like the writing style and just they're like fairy tales and the stories, and they're just so wonderful. And they have like relatable characters. Like there's like this one part where there's a werewolf trying to express that he's a man, and there's someone like a court physician that's like, maybe we should listen to him and like show like he's actually got some sense to it. Like no one ever questions it.
Yeah,
that was a really good one. I like that one a lot.
Yes.
And then we read Beowulf, which I'll never forget was my first MOP. And I loved it. I read it in high school as well. So it's like the quintessential hero story of just a classic hero on a quest, 3 different quests,
And I believe the week we were supposed to do your MOP was the week we went into quarantine. And then you ended up having to wait, I think it was like a month, to do your MOP.
Yeah, we went to I was supposed to go that week. Like we had 2 classes during the week, and the day I was going to present, or the day before, so when they closed it. And so I had to wait like a month or so to actually present on it.
Yeah. It was definitely a very tough time, but I still think you did pretty well on that MOP.
Yeah, no, I liked it. I think Dr. Theory was also really engaged because it was just his favorite subject. Vikings and quests and all that. But yeah. What book did you do your MOP on?
That semester I did my MOP on The Life of Saint Columba by Adam Nin.
I remember that one. That was a really good presentation. You did the Disney princess, right?
Yes.
That was so good. You're so clever with that kind of stuff.
Because for those who don't know in the audience, the way how I like to do my MOPs, or did my MOPs, was I would try and find some like modern connection to like relate to in the intro before I went in depth with my thesis. So that particular semester, I had been talking about how in Adam Nin's Life of Saint Columba had been portrayed as a bit of like a standard hero. And I compared the way how he had been portrayed as a hero in that to like Disney princes. Because fun fact, Gianna and I both really love Disney.
Yeah.
So it's like if I could get the chance to talk about it, then I would. And I think it was much appreciated, especially by Dr. Carlson, because she teaches the Disney.
And then
Princess
that's
class.
how she segued in to us taking her Disney Princess class in the spring or in the summer. Yeah,
in the summer intersection.
So it worked out really well. It was a good segue.
Yeah. I didn't even know what I was doing at the time, when I was creating that intro, but definitely worked out for the best.
Oh, yeah, it was perfect. Now we read Chaucer in 102 at the very end. That was like the last class we took. And then now we're taking Chaucer again with Dr. Carlson.
Yes. And now luckily we get to go a bit more in depth with the Canterbury Tales than we were able to, due to the limited time frame and again the COVID quarantine.
We read The Wife of Bath's Tale and The Knight's Tale, or the general prologue. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure we read the general prologue.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what other tales we read. But now in the Chaucer class we get to read the general prologue, Wife of Bath's Tale. Don't think we're reading the Miller's Tale, which is a shame because that one's one of my that one makes me laugh.
Yeah, and always has a good joke or two in there.
The whole province is a joke.
I know. But yeah, what other books do we read in that class?
Well, we did speaking of Dr. Theory, well, not really speaking Dr. Theory, but earlier you were saying like how he loved Beowulf. Well, what he might love even more would be the Icelandic sagas.
Oh, I still have the book on my bookshelf. It's
so
huge.
Do I.
It takes up so much space.
It's so huge. And it's like when I was getting it for the class, I was like, when am I ever going to use this again? Cut to now. I also have class with Dr. Theory again this semester. And I may or may not be having to write a paper about the sagas. So,
really?
Yeah, so it's nice and helpful that I have it now.
That's so perfect. Yeah. I remember all he was saying was like, just be ready, guys. It's very bloodthirsty and very gory. And I'm like, oh, it sure was after we read it for class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. I like that a lot.
Yeah. We also read Augustine's Confessions, which Cam actually did his MOP on.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I remember he had a really great title for his MOP.
What was it?
I believe it was something like Convert Me God, but not yet.
No, yeah, the MOPs were really good that semester. I think everyone really engaged with the books a lot. It was really good subject material, but I think my favorite was Marie de France. We read Dante too as well.
That's right, of course. How could I forget about Dante?
Whenever I think of Dante's Inferno, I just think of it as how it would be in like movie format. It would just be so dark and depressing and gloomy, and like the darker, like the farther down in the levels you go, it just gets even more depressing.
Yeah, it gets gloomier and gloomier the further down you go, because at the top it's like, people who had been virtuous but who were pagans. So it's like, I wouldn't mind chilling with Virgil and Ovid and
those are his heroes.
Yeah. But then like immediately after that, you get to the circle of lust and it's like these people being blown about in the windstorm. And then you get the story of Paolo and Francesca.
Yeah.
And it's like, it only gets worse.
And then you get to the bottom, you have people in ice that are like twitching and blinking at you through the ice, and you got Satan like chewing on people, and it's awful.
I think my personal favorite punishment in the Inferno is the one for the hypocrites, because they wear these cloaks that are golden on the outside, but it's lead on the inside. And so like it shows, the artifice they had like engaged in their entire lives. Yeah,
I found like the part with Satan, and like I never knew like he was supposedly chewing on people and like all the, like the worst of the worst, like that just blew me away, because like everyone always says like when hell freezes over, and like I always say, like I answer back now, I'm like, well, hell is actually frozen at the very bottom if you didn't read Dante's Inferno. Yeah, and that was a good one too. So what did we start with? We started with the Gospel of Matthew. Oh yeah, that one was good too. I don't remember too much about that one as much. I'm trying to think of other ones we read.
I think that was the majority of it. Though, once this goes up, if we forgot something major,
Yeah.
if Dr. Carlson and
I
Dr. Theory are
know.
listening, the same feel like you forgot about. I don't know.
I think we mentioned the ones that are most important to them.
Yes, and the ones that had the largest effect on us.
Yeah, and look at us now taking Chaucer and taking Dr. Theory's class. That works out.
Yep.
But yeah, my favorites I think were definitely Beowulf and Marie de France.
My favorites were Marie de France and the Letters of Abelard and Heloise.
Yeah, those are really good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those were fun to talk about during class, especially because like those are like what the professors like specialized in. Like Dr. Theory is like knows all about like the Vikings and stuff like that and like that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then Dr. Carlson knows everything about medieval literature. well, they both do. They're both medieval. Yeah. Yeah, that works out.
Anyway, tune in next time. Well, I'm not sure if it's literally going to be the next time, but stay tuned for further episodes where Gianna and I review honors books. And again, if you would like to come onto the podcast, like Gianna here, our first guest star, then please, I think we're going to put the contact info either up on the screen or in the description box. Please reach out to either me or Cam, and we hope to see you on here soon. Have a good day, y'all.